On November 29, 1980, 32-year-old Granger Taylor mysteriously disappeared from the small town of Duncan on Vancouver Island in Canada. Before he disappeared, Granger left a strange note for his parents. The note left by Granger read, "Dear Mother and Father, I have gone away to walk aboard an alien spaceship as reoccurring dreams assured a 42-month interstellar voyage to explore the vast universe, then return. I am leaving behind all possessions to you as I will no longer require the use of any. Please use the instructions in my will as a guide to help. Love, Granger." There was also a map of some kind drawn on the back of the note, whose meaning has been greatly debated. Some say that the map is of Waterloo Mountain, but this information has never been confirmed. On Granger's will, it was noted that he had crossed out the word death and replaced it with departure. What led up to Granger's disappearance? Let's begin by exploring Granger and his upbringing. Granger was born on October 7, 1948. As a young boy, Granger had experienced tragedy early, as his father had drowned in an accident. Granger's mother remarried, and Granger would live with his mother and stepfather all the way up until his disappearance. Despite the fact that Granger dropped out of school around the 8th grade, Granger was extremely intelligent. Friends and family noticed that Granger had the ability and talent to fix anything. Granger's home was nicknamed the Sleepy Hollow Museum because of the number of old engines and tractors Granger was in the process of restoring. Granger had restored several well-known projects, including an old steam engine and locomotive, a one-cylinder car, a bulldozer, and a World War II P-40 Kitty Hawk. By the time Granger was a young adult, he was strong and stocky. Granger was 6'3" tall and 240 pounds. Despite his large frame, Granger was shy and quiet and was known as Gentle Ben. Granger continued his mechanical projects, but he began to develop new interests in aliens and space. Granger became obsessed with the concept of space travel and aliens. Granger even built a large spaceship in his backyard, which had been outfitted with 2 satellite dishes, a television, a couch, and a wood-burning stove. Granger started to spend more and more time in his spaceship. In late 1980, Granger started to tell close friends that while he was laying inside his spaceship, he was able to speak with aliens telepathically. Granger was convinced that aliens would take him on a journey through space. It became clear that Granger's hobby and interest in aliens had turned into a deep obsession. On November 29th, Granger spoke with his stepfather about how grateful he was for everything he had done for him and how his stepfather treated him like his own son. Granger then left his house in his 1972 Datsun pickup truck. Granger was last seen at around 6 p.m. at Bob's Grill to have dinner by himself. That night, there was a large storm with hurricane-force winds that would tear through the town. Witnesses at Bob's Grill reported that Granger seemed ill-prepared for the storm and did not even have a winter coat on him. Friends and family were extremely surprised at Granger's disappearance. They hoped he would come back after 42 months as he had detailed in his note. Sadly, Granger never reappeared. In March 1986, forestry workers would find a blast site near Mount Prevost, which was not far from Granger's house. There were human bone fragments and pieces of a vehicle left which police stated were from Granger's truck. What's interesting is the color of Granger's truck has been highly debated. It was initially reported that Granger's truck was blue, but there are reports of Granger's friends stating that they had helped him paint it pink. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police stated that until further evidence was found, the human and vehicle remains found were assumed to be from Granger. No further information is available on if DNA testing was done on the bones to see if they belonged to Granger, or if the vehicle remains had any identifying information to confirm the vehicle belonged to Granger. Authorities came to the conclusion that Granger had died from a dynamite explosion. Granger was known to have carried dynamite in his truck, which was used to blow out tree stumps. This was a common practice for the time and area. Those who knew Granger said he was knowledgeable on proper use and handling of dynamite and found it unlikely that Granger would have mishandled the dynamite. Some are not convinced that Granger died of a dynamite explosion, and over the years there have been many theories as to what really happened to Granger. Some say that Granger may have taken his own life. There are reports that Granger's mental health was on the decline for several months leading up to his disappearance. It was known that Granger used LSD, and before his disappearance it was known that Granger had used LSD multiple times a day. Some speculate that the combination of Granger's drug use and depression caused him to take his own life. Others speculate that Granger disappeared on his own to start a new life somewhere else. Adding to this theory are statements Granger made to friends that he could disappear by simply growing a beard and moving to a different country. There are other wild theories as to what happened to Granger. Some of the stranger theories are that Granger used the dynamite to launch himself into space. Aliens blew up Granger's vehicle to make it seem like Granger took his own life. And there are even theories that Granger was recruited by a secret agency. Some of the details of Granger's case are even disputed, most likely caused by misinformation from conspiracy theorists. Either way, Granger's case remains alive in the minds of those who truly believe that Granger was contacted by extraterrestrials.